He has never, and he will never. He was talking about from when he came into office in 2015 up until this moment, has never tampered with funds belonging to local government. The conversation isn't just going to end there. There is also the talk of local government autonomy. This one very interesting because the calls for it to be domesticated after the National Assembly passed that bill has risen time over time, especially Rivers State being one of those states where the call is intense from NULGE, asking that the governor should look into domesticating that bill, implementing that law locally. Well, if you must know, the NULGE chairman in Rivers State, president, I beg your pardon, the NULGE president in Rivers State, Clifford, was the one who was urging the state government to, as a matter of urgency, domesticate the local government autonomy law. He commended the governor, of course, for not interfering in local government allocations in the state, but asked that the bill be domesticated so local governments can have full autonomy. He stated, however, that the local government councils in the state have what he described as quasi-autonomy. That's what it is, quasi-autonomy. Not something that's full or complete, it's quasi-autonomy. And for the fact that their funds aren't being touched and they get their monies according to him and according to the governor, and the fact that no local government chairman has come out to say otherwise, well, it means that we have to take their words for it. But this morning on the show, sadly, which is quite painful, sometimes you have people occupy public office. The expectation is emphasis on public. If you occupy public office, it means you should speak with the public when the occasion arises. This was one of those times where I've had a conversation with the NULGE president in Rivers State, Clifford. We actually spoke at length yesterday. I was trying to have him come to the studio, and he suggested that he was going to have a conversation via telephone because he may not be able to beat traffic and make it here in time. And I thought that was also very cool, and we needed him to address some of these issues. Don't also forget that there's been conversations around who NULGE would support in 2023. The national president of NULGE also had appealed to members and Nigerians to vote out a certain political party. He's also talked about not voting for any candidate who would not support local government autonomy, etc., etc. Sadly, my guest at the dying minute switched off his phone. That's how I would look at it. Well, I spoke to his assistant, and assistant perhaps said some other reasons could be behind why the phone went off. But I've been trying to get in touch with him since around some minutes past 7. His phone has been ringing on end, and he wasn't taking his calls. And just about 2 minutes to 8 o'clock, his phone went off. And here we are, sadly. We'll still keep trying anyways. If we can get in touch with him before we conclude the conversation this morning, perhaps we'll hear his position on the autonomy of a local government in Rivers State, because I know that he's been vocal about it sometime within the year. I think it was in July or in August, where he was calling on the government to see that local government autonomy is something that is domesticated, and thank the governor for the financial, for not tampering with the funds of local governments. But why at the moment we can't get across to him, I don't know. Perhaps he would give us a reason. You can join us on social media, Facebook at Nigeria Info PH. We have a question up there for you. So, government has said it doesn't tamper with local government funds. That's what the governor says, right? But it brings people to then ask other sorts of questions. And one of them I need you to react to is, how satisfied are you with how the local government chairmen, or the local government councils, if you want to use that word, manage the funds, the projects that they carry out, payment of salary of local government workers, all of these? How have they handled it? Are you satisfied with how it's been handled? You could give us an example with your local government if you want to, but are you satisfied with how it's been handled by the local government? If their funds whatsoever is not tampered with, by the state government. The expectation is we should have a lot of activities at the local government levels because they have access to funds, which means they should be able to do projects that will impact people. Most of the projects we've seen over time, markets, shopping malls, markets, parks, a few roads here and there, if I'm not mistaken. At least for the few that I've seen in some local governments. I know in Ikre local government, okay, the health center. But you join the conversation on Facebook and let us know. The state government says it doesn't touch funds belonging to local government. How pleased are you with how the local government chairmen have been managing their funds? Share your opinion with us on the show this morning. We'll still do the best we can to get in touch with our guest. If he doesn't take his calls, well, there's nothing we can do, sadly. But let me take some of your messages on Facebook at the moment. Edison Anna says, good morning, Ifemi. To me, we don't have any local government chairman, but local government appointees. Promise Owunari. This one from Okrika. He says, Okrika local government chairman is doing well. I love what he's doing in Okrika. Tamano Tekena opposed David said the movement is clear. The state governor paid to local government areas and receive cash. I don't know about that one. Tamano, this is your allegation. Sorry, I cannot take it. Dre says the local government council chairmen they do anything for their students, especially for the fact where we say Obiakwa students steal the UST, we never pay school fees, and local government they claim the money day now. Wow. Chima Ezenye says, in the first place, the state government touches local government funds, but even at that, most local government chairmen have failed woefully as well, leading to abject poverty across board, beginning from the federal, state, and local government. None is exempted from mismanagement of funds. Ezenye Chima from Amerelu. Good morning. Remember monies that were also given to local government chairmen, those ones that fought the illegal oil refining activity within their domain. You remember that? Let's get onto the phone lines and hear some of your contributions this morning. Hello, Nigeria Info. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. You hear me, Andrew.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Letan Barry Sunday, President, the Time and Tone for River Southeast. Yeah. Okay. Let me just give you bit by bit, even if time will not allow me to do that, as regard to this matter. Even if you call the local government chairman and ask them if the governor have been tampering their funds, they will still tell you no, that the governor does not touch, because they were appointed, and you expect those people to tell you that the governor is tampering their funds. You don't ask that question and expect a good result. That is number one. Two, the man in charge of NULGE is afraid, and is not going to be sincere in saying.
Why should he be afraid?
You know, it will affect the governor because his position there. You know,
how publicly he had already in different forums, different press conferences, urged the state government to implement the bill.
What we expect him to say. He has not straightly said what we expect him to say. Look at the minimum wage for local government workers. Has it been paid?
Well, that was the question I was going to ask him if he was here.
Increase of salary. Has it been paid to local government? A lot of things are right there.
So Letambari, are you saying that he was trying to avoid these questions? That's the reason why perhaps he's not here now.
Yes, he's trying to avoid it because if he wants to tell you the real truth, it will affect him and the governor. It will be a problem between him and the governor. So what do you expect him to say? Even if it comes on air, you will see the way he will dodge questions, the way he will manipulate himself to dodge what he's supposed to say. He will dodge it. So I know very well, immediately you said that, I know very well, even from time, if you look at his statement, just watch, anytime you have the opportunity of talking with him, you will see the way he will answer these questions. He cannot tell you that, okay, let him come and tell us why the minimum wage has not been paid. Why is the money and allocations have been delivered to the local government chairman? Okay, the problem is from the local government chairman, not so, because they own the fund, they've not paid the minimum wage. That means we have to hold the local government chairman.
But regardless, if you feel
the local government chairman,
if he feels
Pardon?
that if he, then why occupy the position of president of NULGE in River State if you would not have how would I put this now? If you wouldn't want to speak on behalf of workers who perhaps will look at you to be the one to voice out those opinions for them, and there's always a diplomatic way to put out any issues, and place your demands.
See, what they do in those unions is that there are areas where they compromise with the governor and the local government chairman.
Oh, that's an allegation. That's an allegation now. That's an allegation we don't have proof of. So
okay. Let me say.
Yes. So please.
You take it to be an allegation, but I bet you, if the local chairman comes and he can be able to tell you that this money that have not been paid, this minimum wage that have not been paid, an increase of salary that have not been paid is from the local government chairman or is from the governor. If he can be able to tell you, I bet you he cannot tell you that.
All right, Littenberry, sorry, but then I had to interrupt you. Sorry, it was rude as well of me, but we have to go for a commercial and it's just a few seconds to that time. Send your messages on WhatsApp 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Again, I'll try to get in touch with the chairman, the president of NULGE in River State. Hopefully, his number is reachable this time, and if it is, whether or not he'll be willing to speak, I do not know. But I'll just keep trying. We'll be right back. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Stay tuned. You can also watch and listen to us online from wherever you are. On Facebook at Nigeria Info PH, on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. We are discussing local government funds and autonomy of local governments. The state government has said it doesn't touch funds that belong to local government, but the question now is, are you pleased with how the local government chairmen are managing the funds? Many would say if they don't touch your funds, we should see more activities in the local government areas of the state. The activities you have seen so far, would you say that they are commiserate to the funds that are accrued to local governments over the years? That's the question. I told you we were supposed to have the NULGE president for Rivers State, Clifford Paul. Unfortunately, while we were on the commercial, I still tried to get in touch with him again. Well, I think it's a last minute ditch. That's the only way to describe this, which is shocking to me. Because you would expect the public office holders speak with the public when needs arise. Well, we'll just continue regardless. Open the phone lines now and let us hear from you. 070-0923-0923. 070-0923-0923. Remember, the national leadership of NULGE had supported the president's comment that some governors and state governments steal funds that belong to local government chairmen, which seem to be the practice for most of the state. There have been complaints about similar situation in Bayelsa State. I spoke to some people in Delta State who also said, well, same thing. Edo State, people complain of the same thing. Kogi State being one of the states that was mentioned to have fully implemented the local government autonomy bill ever since it was passed by the National Assembly. The calls have continued to come for the River State government to consider domesticating that bill, that law. Well, would that see the light of day? I do not know. I remember one time the governor saying, if we already do not touch your funds, what are they talking about financial autonomy? But then having something documented and giving full autonomy. In fact, Clifford Paul himself described it as quasi-autonomy. That's what he says the local governments have in River State. David is calling from Yenagua. Good morning, David.
Greetings from the city of Yenagua.
Welcome. Good morning to you.
David West.
Go ahead.
Let me start with the NULGE president. I want to emphatically say that your guest you are supposed to have chickened out. I use the word chicken out. It's quite unfortunate. Anyway, whether he speaks or not, we are not bothered. For the governor to say that he does not touch local government funds is laughable. Ifemi, you are aware that when governors come into power and do not conduct local government election and use caretaker to operate, within that time they are using caretaker to operate, if I should ask, who is in charge of the fund of the local government? Is it not the governor? Does the caretaker chairman that comes to operate for several months and years, does he give account of his stewardship? They use caretaker chairman to operate the way they like, control the fund. They use local government fund to conduct election. They use local government fund to build their personal empire. So no, I don't think what the governor is saying that he's even calling God. God is so merciful. Let him call his ancestral gods, and let's know that he did not touch local government fund. It's laughable. The same thing is also happening in Bayelsa State here. As we speak, the governor is not even thinking of conducting local government election. The tenure of the former local government chairman has elapsed. Now he's not even thinking about it. We don't even know who is running the local government. Our allocations are coming to the local government month in, month out. So who is in charge of it? Who is controlling it? Look, it is only autonomy of local government that will make us understand that indeed, yes, governors do not have powers any longer to control the local government fund. For God's sake, in Nigeria we have 3 tiers of government. If the federal government is not suffocating or frustrating the state government by giving them everything they need, independence, autonomy, and what have you, why then can't state governors also give local government, which is a tier of government of its own, the same preference, the same right to control its funds? It's quite unfortunate. When you say conduct local government election, they will tell you paucity of funds, that there is no money. Does INEC one day wake up to tell us there is no money for them to conduct state and national elections? No. So it's quite unfortunate.
All right, David, thank you very much. Nigeria Info. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Yes, Obed Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Yes, Andrew, I think for any governor to say that he does not have a hand in local government fund is a joke of the day. It's an insult to the sensibilities of Nigeria, who are made up of professors, technocrats. It's an insult. Now, Andrew, in the morning, a statement made by a particular aide to the president actually is connected to what we are discussing. Look, governors are the problem of this country. You understand? These people, they collect local government funds and give them whatever they like to get their salaries. It is just clear. It's glaring before everybody. You understand? Now, this is not the first time President has said it. At a particular time in one media chat, President told us that local government will receive up to 300 million and hand over to the governors, which in turn give them whatever they are going to pay salary with. You understand? So no governor will deny the fact that they have a hand in local government. But Andrew, the only solution, as I can tell you, I don't know if it's actually part of the electoral act. Let INEC conduct local government election. Let them leave the power to not local government election on the state electoral act. You understand? Sorry, state electoral commission. Let them remove the spotlight from them. If not, it will continue like this. So these people put whoever they like and do whatever they like with local government funds, which of course is one of the major. You understand? When it starts to develop.
But Chima, if we think about it, none of the local governments, you can correct me if I'm wrong, none of the local government chairmen have come out to say that, well, this is what happens with their funds. Besides, if that was the case, is it because we have only local government chairmen from one political party, hence it's now a party affair? Because if the funds are not being tampered with, the developments that we should see in those local governments across the states should be more than what we're seeing now. That's the opinion of many people.
Andrew, now, the first time you say something, who will tell you, who's local government chairman, will stand the governor and tell him that, look, he's not receiving funds he's supposed to receive? Who? In as much as governor can pick whoever he likes and put as local government chairman, he cannot come out and say it. You understand? A lot of times, some of them were suspended, of course, because you fail to attend a function. Even when Supreme Court have announced that, look, you cannot suspend the government chairman. They were suspended. They even, most of them even justify it. So they are lawyers, free soul and body. So they cannot come out and stand before government and tell you, I'm not too far to receive. You understand? So local government is very, very important aspect when it has to do with development of every society. Because they are very close to the people. You understand? So the only solution, let me tell you, is INEC to conduct local government election so that other political parties can win. When something is going on, we can hear it clearly.
All right, Chima, thank you very much. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Divine calling from Oji.
Okay, Divine.
I want to say this. I'm not from this state, but the truth is I've been not getting the south for years. I think what people expect on this radio, on this issue, is that there was a money. We said it. A man has always said, I did not take the money belonging to local government. And I don't like that. There's nobody has come out to say, the governor did not give me money to work. And we are on the radio shouting, how can you say, can't you just be, I feel so sorry for every one of us. I won't lie to you. Because if actually we believe that we are not corrupt, that something else is not corrupt. So because of our heart we are corrupt, so we also believe that other people are corrupt. So telling you, I'm going to play for elections to make sure that other parties will come on board to do what parties are doing. I'm not saying you should not come on board.
So the conversation now is the question now even largely is you've heard us already say, well, the governor has said he doesn't touch. No local government chairman has come out to say that the governor is lying. NULGE, I spoke with the NULGE chairman yesterday while we had a conversation. He also said that on that part, the government of Rivers State doesn't touch funds that belong to local government. He categorically said that to me. It's unfortunate that he's not here now to continue with the conversation. But the question now is, if the funds are not being touched, the level of management of these funds and the development in the various local government areas, and you look at it side by side with the funds that these local government chairmen have access to, would you say that it is well managed or they are doing enough? That's the question.
For me, to be sincere with you, I will not say 100% they have been well managed, but at least to a large extent, yes, they have said something tangible. For instance, let me tell you this. I came from the state. If my state will do, sorry, I'm just exaggerating. If my state will do 10% of what we have done, we will be on air every day to praise me.
Which state would that? Which state are you from? Delta State, Edo State?
Both Delta and Edo. I'm from Duasi. Both Delta and Edo.
Abia State.
Well, I said both Delta and Edo.
Oh, okay. All right then. Go ahead.
So if the two states where I hear from, we will do 10% of what we have done. I am telling you the truth. We will be on air every day praising them. But here, it's a different case I see. Never to the receive money. They will say, receive money. What are we talking about here? The man has tried, but we want you to do more. People, and don't forget to, government is a community. The man government community do more than what we can have done. We can have done more what we have done. The man government community do more than what we can have done. That's what we are looking at.
All right. Thank you very much. Nigeria Info, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Hello, good morning, this morning.
All right, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Thank you. My name is Good News. I'm calling from Clifford.
Okay, good news. Talk to us.
Hello.
Hello, good news. Go ahead.
It's all right. I want to speak that they have all lies for saying that the governor is not touching the funds of the Let me tell you why.
Why?
We are aware that paying of teacher salary is not in the explosive list, it's in the concurrent list. And in the concurrent list, it is under the local government chairman to pay the primary school teachers to ensure that the school, the primary health and the primary schools are well funded and taken care of. It is under the right of the local government in the constitution. Now, who pays those money? The River State government pays those money. And you want to tell me that since it's under the when the tax money comes, it goes accordingly the federal, the state, and the local government. And you want to tell me that the local government, the state does not tamper with local government money to ensure that
that's what the governor says. He has never.
No. I've even heard from. No, let me tell you, there's something about this land. I felt it, my brother and mine. Most of these local governments, some of them, come to us who are members of the opposition, and they tell us to help them and talk that they are constrained. You know, if we continue like this country will never grow. They are afraid for saying, and after talking, they will be kicked out and be wanted for. We all know the truth. It's like when the police say, when they say bail is not free, and really bail is not, they say bail is free, and they say, and when you go for bail, they give you a form to fill that you did not collect money from you. Like everybody saying that they collect money from you, and you don't have the facts to prove. But the national knows that they collect money, that's why they try to always insist on that.
All right.
The point I'm saying, generally, is that finally, the point I'm saying is that let us tell us that some money was taken to support the state. So paying the primary and primary health center and the school. Well,
the state government has said it has not partnered with any local government. Thank you very much, Chimado. The state government had said it does not partner with it hasn't partnered with any local government to carry out any project as well. The governor boasted and talked about that during one of the commissionings in the course of last week. So my question is, How then are the local government chairmen managing the funds? I'll ask a few questions because national leadership of NULGE had said that states put together all workers up to around 40 billion naira. I don't know if workers at local government levels in Rivers State are being paid as at when due, or are held, or are they? Is any worker being salaries being withheld? Those are questions we're asking. Areas of salaries for local government workers, have they been paid? The health centers in local government, are they working? Some of the few questions: the schools in local government areas, the schools, primary schools, are they functional, all of them, with adequate facilities to accommodate students? These questions are necessary, because if the answer to these questions are no, then you would ask, where then is the money going to? Because the government has said it does not touch the funds of local government. Well, if the answer is yes, well, then we have our answer. We know where the money goes to. But that will be for you to decide. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Thank you very much for your time. And hopefully tomorrow our guest that we would have on the show would not turn out to be just like this situation we have today. Hopefully. Have a great day. Hello Port Harcourt is next.
Nigeria.